So, Jayson, you're back at the Derby. Was this the goal as soon as you were in the Derby last year to be back?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. No, we got into a couple horses after the Dornoch era, and I was kind of backing up a little bit. Only got into a couple horses, and Flying Mohawk was one of them. But we bought a couple turf horses, and like I told you last year, we kind of had dreams of running at Kentucky Downs or big turf races somewhere. And Whit had this brilliant idea of going running the Ruby and kind of seeing from there. I found out later on that this was his intentions the whole time. So he was kind of giving me some options about American Turf Classic or something, because we missed we missed the Breeders' Cup by like a nose, and that was when we were like, he ran back here and won by like 6 lengths, and we were like, oh man, we got a really nice horse. But again, we were thinking he's a turf horse, or at least I was. I guess Whit had other plans, but yeah, it's pretty cool to obviously we're incredibly blessed to have another horse at Derby back-to-back years. I know just getting into the sport, my first colt was Dornoch, and now one of 2 colts is Flying Mohawk, and we're coming back to the Derby, so it's pretty crazy.
Is it you own more? It was 10%, I think, last year. You own more of this horse. Is that any different for you?
Yeah, it's a lot different. I mean, last year's experience, really just getting into horse racing and being a minority partner, you didn't really get the invites to all the stuff. So this year, being the guy, we're majority owners, and we got a small ownership group, and just kind of soaking it all in here, taking it all in, getting opportunities that we didn't get last year. So this is quite an experience.
Describe, I guess, the allure of horse racing. What is it that really pulled you in?
Yeah, so I knew of horse racing. I knew that there was a thing as the Triple Crown and Kentucky Derby, like most American sports fans, but that's about it. I didn't really know much after that. I got into it. I was playing golf with some guys down in Florida that own some Florida breds, and they took me to a race one time, and Tampa Bay Downs, and I was like, this is pretty cool. I want to check this out. So I grabbed a leg of a couple fillies, and had some stakes winners, and really, like, that's where it all kind of began for me, because it's like, after you retire from a professional sport, or any sport for that matter, at any level, I think, when you don't have an opportunity to get on the field and play, it's like a part of you's missing. So when I got into horse racing, I started, showing up on, felt like game day, and when those gates open, it feels like you're back on the field, like you're those horses are doing all the work, but you definitely get your fair share of the emotions and the experience. And it's, I said last year after winning the Belmont, I compared it to winning the World Series, and that's exactly what it felt like. So this is a great game for anybody. It's a really great game for retired athletes.
As an athlete, you can control what happens with your son. As an athlete, you can control what you do. You're in charge of. You've got to let it go here. How hard is it to watch?
No control. Yeah, I didn't know what it was like to be nervous until I got into horse racing. I literally, I never really experienced nerves. I didn't get butterflies. You get that game day feel, like it's game day. Like you wake up in the morning, like it's game day. Like still get that, but I think it's like the race before, or the 2 races before. Like I start getting these feelings that I've never really experienced before, and that in itself is a lot different. So I played with guys that would have nerves, and I played with this guy that would throw up before every game. And I'd be looking at him like, what is wrong with you? Like what? And now here we are. I'm fighting back, puking before every race. And I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. But I have all these crazy emotions with this sport. And then but again, when then they get on the track and the gates open, it really feels like I'm playing in a really big game. So that part's really cool for me.
Well, you were at the Jeff Ruby, and you finished second. But from what I understand, you and your group were like, speaking of going crazy.
Yeah.
Went pretty crazy. 'Cause you knew all kinds of possibilities that opened up with that second.
Well, I mean, we figured going in like second, 1-2, we're in the Derby, so we run second. He ran a big race and ran second. Obviously, Final Gambit ran a really big race, But we celebrated like we won. I mean, we really that's how we took it. And we were actually walking down the steps to go to the winner's circle for some reason. And there was a lady with the connections for Final Gambit. She leans over to a guy in my group and she said, "Excuse me, did we win or did you? Who won?" And I mean, it's hilarious. But he's like, no, you guys won, but we also won because we're most likely in the Derby. So we did a second place winner's circle thing. We kind of took a picture outside the winner's circle. I don't know if that's been done before. Jeff Ruby came over with the flowers, took a picture with us. I don't know. You don't get many opportunities in life. You don't get many opportunities in sports. So I definitely get the gravity and just what this means and how big this is, not just in sport, in horse racing, but in sports. I mean, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, and obviously to be back here 2 years in a row is super special.
What do your former baseball teammates think about your new interest? Have you been able to?
Well, they thought I was crazy.
Into it at all?
Yeah, they thought I was absolutely nuts, and they don't get it. And then when I bring the guys out to the track for races, then they get it. We started my syndicate Icon Racing, and we're slowly getting some guys converted over. Some of my buddies are still playing, so I don't think it makes sense. But for the retired guys, like most of us, we need something to do. We need an outlet. So slowly starting to get some guys in. I got some guys in on Icon and a lot of guys interested. When I started it, they were like, let's see how you do, And so now with Mohawk here in the Derby, I think I got some more people interested.
So how is Icon different from 2/8 racing?
So Icon's a partnership. So 2/8 races is just our family. As many people as we can get in, I think, to a point probably, and then we buy yearlings and 2-year-olds, and everybody in the group shares shares in the group. I think that's what separates the experience, right? You show up and you bet on a horse. You don't really know much about it coming in or coming out. You own the horse. You're here at the barn in the morning. You're checking his workouts. You're calling the trainer. There's a lot more to it. So I think that's what's special about this sport is you can literally own your own sports franchise in a horse. So it's pretty cool.
As a former athlete, you have a different appreciation, obviously, for the highest level. Do you, first 2 years and you're in the Derby twice, you probably realize how special that is, right? And how it doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's not lost on me. We're incredibly fortunate, incredibly lucky. Right place, right time stuff. But I don't know. We're here. We're gonna make the most of it. It's like, once those gates open, anything can happen. It's like when you get drafted and like you're a kid, and you go play baseball and. You got your top picks, you got your bottom picks, and everywhere in between. But once you get on that field, nobody cares where you were drafted. The pitcher from the Dominican Republic doesn't care what round you were drafted in. Like your teammates don't care. It doesn't matter. How you got there. It's just as long as you're in the race, as long as you're on the field, you got a chance.